Splatoon is a shooter unlike any other. Shooting games are, unsurprisingly, reserved for adult players with a thirst for violence. Splatoon, however, is nothing like its fellow shooters. It swaps bullets for ink, dark corridors and war-torn landscapes for bright skate parks and shopping malls, and fearsome warriors for squid. Nintendo have, for years now, brought out many wonderful games that have a core set of characters at their heart. Mario, Donkey Kong, Yoshi, Kirby and more feature in almost all Nintendo games. But Splatoon splits from Nintendo's norm and presents some matches are short but sweet, seeing the levels begin as dull and lifeless and end as brightly coloured explosions of colour that look absolutely incredible. Splatoon matches see players running around with a mixture of interesting weapons, firing paint at the floors and walls to spread as much team colour as possible. The other team are of course doing the same thing. Matches traditionally begin with a team painting the area near their spawn point, and as they gradually move forward, so does their ink. The middle ground of the map then becomes a flurry of splattered ink, and this is where the action generally starts to kick off. As you use more ink, you must recharge, but rather than reloading as you would do in other shooters, Splatoon requires that you revert into squid form. This is done by holding down the left trigger button. It should only be done while standing in your team's paint. Whilst in squid form, a number of things happen. If you're on rival ink or just on normal ground, you flounder. If you're stood on your own ink, you sink beneath it, disappearing from enemy view. You can move at dramatically increased speed through your team's ink, and you refill your ink. Due to these changes, switching between human and squid form on the fly becomes incredibly important to players. This gives Splatoon and its childish appearance some impressive depth and can make for very challenging matches. Skilled players effortlessly disappear under the ink, pop up again without warning and splat you. It makes for a far deeper experience than I'd expected. Though you can splat, or kill, other players, this is not the focus of the online matches. If you go around trying to kill the opposing team, you are likely to lose. Your aim should always be to spread your ink far and wide. Outside of the awesome multiplayer matches, there's an impressive amount of customization options. Playing matches rewards players with cash that can be spent in the game's stores, allowing you to buy weapons, headgear, clothing and shoes that all allow you to look different and give subtle adjustments to speed and refill time. There is also a single player campaign. This feels very much like an add-on rather than the main focus of the game, and although I found it enjoyable, it was far from groundbreaking. The levels are pretty dull, but the end of level bosses were fantastic, just like many other Nintendo's titles. These bosses make playing the single player worthwhile if you really enjoy the game's mechanics. Splatoon is full of fresh and fun ideas from Nintendo. The gameplay and online play is fantastic, and the ink leads to great mechanics. The single player is serviceable, but not worth the price of admission alone. The only real wish was that the multiplayer had a few more ideas that will allow me to want to play it for longer sessions. The inking is great, but that's all there is. All being well, Splatoon 2 will be really, really worth buying.